enforcement about their officer training and use of force procedures.
MPD says that the use of force is not something that they take lightly, and it's also a point of training that happens multiple times a year. Patrol Sergeant Antley is also MPD's defensive tactics coordinator. Part of his job is to review all of MPD's use of force reports and footage of officers to evaluate if defense training is effective and correct.
I look at the body cam. I see, are these officers applying these techniques correctly? Are there injuries that are resulting to either unintentionally to the suspect or unintentionally to the officer? How can we minimize those things? Are there tools that we're using that are not effective or that are very effective?
Sergeant Antley then works with his team to create a plan ahead of training days.
What we train on is something that we maybe notice is that officers are showing on the street they're deficient in.
Neither MPD nor the Jackson County Sheriff's Office trains officers to use any kind of blood choke or anything that would cut off someone's oxygen or the blood flow to or from the brain.
The reason we don't train on that is because it's not something that, generally speaking, officers are authorized to use.
A blood choke is only permitted if deadly force is permitted.
To put it bluntly and simply, if we would be justified to use our firearm in a particular incident, we would be justified to apply one of those chokes. Short of that, we're not supposed to be using them.
Any use of force by a Medford police officer must be reported.
So even a low-level wrist lock, even if I use like a finger hold, our policy is quite clear. Even if we just put someone in handcuffs, we need to document that in a report.
In Medford, Alicia Rubin, Newswatch 12.
One call for reform following the murder of George Floyd calls for stricter policies surrounding officers with past offenses, especially ones concerning violence. MPD says they do extensive background checks before hiring and have a process for internal investigations and potentially